All right, everybody, welcome to another deep dive. Today, we are going to roll up our sleeves and get into the weeds of something really cool in Excel.
Ooh, Excel sounds riveting. Are we gonna make a pie chart or something?
We could, I guess. But actually, no, today is all about DAX.
DAX. What is that? Some kind of dinosaur?
Not quite. It stands for Data Analysis Expressions. And honestly, it's one of the most powerful tools Excel has. But it can be a bit intimidating, which is why we're here.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Already sounds more exciting than a pie chart. But for those of us who haven't spent our lives in spreadsheets, what does DAX actually do?
Right. So basically think of DAX as a way to unlock hidden insights from your data. It's like having a secret decoder ring for spreadsheets. You know, you go beyond just adding and subtracting.
Okay, I'm starting to get it. So it's less about crunching numbers and more about actually understanding what the numbers mean.
Exactly. And today we're diving deep into one specific DAX function called ALLEXCEPT.
ALLEXCEPT? Huh. That sounds kind of ominous, like something a supervillain would say.
Maybe. But trust me, it's actually a really helpful function. And we've got some excerpts from a document called Pasted Text to guide us.
Lead the way. I'm ready to unlock the secrets of this ALLEXCEPT thing.
Perfect. So to kick things off, can you give us a quick rundown of what ALLEXCEPT actually does? What's the big picture here?
All right. So imagine you have this massive spreadsheet, right? Like rows and rows of data. And you only want to focus on a very specific part of it.
Okay, bless you.
ALLEXCEPT lets you filter out everything except for the specific data points you're interested in. It's like using a sieve to sift through sand and find those little gold nuggets.
Okay, I kind of get it.
Yep.
But can you give us a more concrete example, something we can really picture?
Sure thing. Let's say you're working with sales data for a company that sells a bunch of different products. You want to see how sales for one particular product have been trending over time, but you also want to take into account things like seasonal trends or regional differences.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. You don't want to just look at the product in isolation.
Exactly. So ALLEXCEPT lets you isolate the sales data for that one product while still keeping the filters for things like time period or region active. It's like saying, okay, Excel, show me the sales for this product, but keep in mind that it's Christmas time and we're looking at the East Coast region.
Wow, that's actually really cool. I'm starting to see how powerful this could be. And how is this different from just using regular filters in Excel?
Well, regular filters can be kind of clunky and limited. With ALLEXCEPT, you have a lot more precision and control. You can really fine-tune the data you're seeing.
And the document we're working with, Pasted Text, it actually uses this really clever analogy to explain ALLEXCEPT.
Oh yeah, the Lego analogy. I love that one.
Yeah. So it compares using ALLEXCEPT to sifting through a box of Legos and only keeping the yellow ones.
Right, like you're building something very specific and you only need those yellow bricks. So you use ALLEXCEPT to filter out all the other colors except for yellow.
It's such a simple analogy, but it really helps to understand the concept.
Absolutely. And the best part is you're not actually deleting any data. You're just creating a temporary view with only the data you need.
So it's kind of like creating a separate pile of yellow Legos to work with while leaving the rest of the box untouched.
Exactly. And you can always go back to the full data set if you need to.
Awesome. So we've talked about what ALLEXCEPT does, but how do you actually use it? What's the syntax like?
Okay, so the syntax might look a little intimidating at first, but it's actually pretty straightforward. It goes like this. ALLEXCEPT, parentheses, your table name, comma, and then the names of the columns you want to keep filters on.
So the first part is always the name of the table you're working with.
Yes, that's important. It has to be the actual table name, not some fancy table expression you created.
Right. I can see how that could trip people up.
Oh yeah, it's a common mistake. But once you've got your table name down, you just list out the columns you want to keep the filters on.
And you separate each column name with a comma.
You got it. So it's like saying, hey, Excel, keep the filters active on these specific columns and remove them from everything else.
Gotcha. So once you've entered the syntax, what does ALLEXCEPT actually give you back?
It returns a modified table that only includes the data points that meet your specified criteria. It's like a brand new table created just for you based on the filters you chose.
So you're not changing the original data at all, you're just creating a new view of it.
Exactly. And this new view allows you to do all sorts of cool analyses and calculations. You can calculate sums, averages, trends, anything you can do with a regular table.
Okay, I'm really starting to see the potential here. And speaking of calculations, the document mentions that ALLEXCEPT is rarely used on its own. It's often a building block for more complex calculations.
Right. It's like a key ingredient in a recipe. You wouldn't just eat a spoonful of baking soda, but you need it to make a cake rise.
I love that analogy. So what are some examples of how ALLEXCEPT can be used in more complex formulas?
Well, one common use case is combining it with other DAX functions like calculate.
Ah, yes. Calculate. That's another one that can be a bit of a head scratcher.
I know, right? But basically, calculate lets you perform calculations on a table of data. And when you combine it with ALLEXCEPT, you can perform those calculations on a very specific subset of your data.
So it's like saying, calculate the average sales for this product, but only for the month of December and only for the West Coast region.
Precisely. You're layering filters on top of each other to get a really granular view of your data.
I see. And the document also compares ALLEXCEPT with a couple of other DAX functions, all and all column. Can you explain how those are different?
Sure. So all L is like the remove all filters button. It completely wipes the slate clean and shows you all the data in your table, regardless of any filters you may have applied.
Okay, so it's like starting from scratch.
Yep. And all L column is similar, but it only removes filters from specific columns that you specify. So it's a bit more targeted than all, but not as nuanced as ALLEXCEPT.
Right, so ALLEXCEPT gives you the most control over which filters are kept and which are removed.
Absolutely. It's the precision tool in your DAX toolbox.
Awesome. And before we wrap things up, there's one more thing I wanted to touch on. Direct query. The document mentions that ALLEXCEPTs can't be used with direct query. Can you explain what that means and why it's important?
Oh yeah, direct query. It's a way of connecting directly to an external data source, like a SQL database, without actually importing the data into Excel.
So it's like working with a live data seed.
Exactly. And because ALLEXCEPT manipulates data within Excel, it can't be used with direct query since the data isn't actually stored in your spreadsheet.
Gotcha. So for most everyday Excel users who are working with data that's already in their spreadsheet, this won't be an issue.
Right. It's only something to be aware of if you're dealing with very large data sets or if you're working in a more technical environment.
Makes sense. So to sum it all up, ALLEXCEPT is a powerful DAX function that allows us to selectively remove filters from our data, giving us a very focused view for analysis and calculations.
Exactly. It's like having a superpower for data manipulation in Excel.
And as we've seen, it can be used in a variety of ways to unlock insights that would be hidden otherwise.
Absolutely. It's all about asking the right questions and then using ALLEXCEPT to find the answers within your data.
I love that. So I have a challenge for all of our listeners.
Ooh, a challenge. I like it.
Think of a data set that you work with on a regular basis. Maybe it's sales data, marketing data, financial data, anything at all.
Okay, got it.
Now ask yourself, how could you use ALLEXCEPT to uncover something new? What hidden patterns or trends might be lurking beneath the surface?
I like it. It's like a data treasure hunt.
Exactly. And who knows? You might be surprised by what you discover when you start using ALLEXCEPT to explore your data in new ways.
I'm ready to go digging for treasure. And hey, if you get stuck, there are tons of resources online to help you master ALLEXCEPT and all the other cool DAX functions.
That's a great point. There are so many amazing tutorials and communities out there, and even a basic understanding of DAX can really take your data analysis skills to the next level.
Agreed. So go forth and analyze. The world of data awaits.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, on that note, thanks for joining us for another deep dive. And until next time, happy analyzing. Bye.